Hey guys, come on downstairs. This is going to be a little bit of an abbreviated MLB The Show Minnesota Twins franchise episode here. We're in year 3, games 81 through 83, and we are finishing out the month of June in year number 3 and catching the first day of July. And it'll be 3 games in this series against the Chicago White Sox, and we will be on the road from the south side. We're going to get this started off. Game number 81 of the season. We come in at 44 and 36, and we fall to the White Sox, who are now 32 and 48. We lose 6-2 in game 81. That ties up the season series at 4 games apiece. Carson Fulmer outpitches Kyle Gibson for the win. Kyle Gibson gives up 7 hits, 5 runs in 5 innings, 6 strikeouts, 2 walks for us in a losing effort. And in the second game of this series, game number 82, we once again fall, this time 9-1 to the White Sox, who take a lead in the season series 5-4. This time Chris Sale goes all 9 innings, gives up 3 hits, 1 run, and has 8 strikeouts and no walks. Alex Meyer goes 6 innings for us, gives up 6 hits, 3 runs, a walk, and 6 strikeouts. Avisail Garcia 3 for 4 with 3 doubles in the game and 2 RBIs. And that will close out the month of June. We go 14 and 13 in the month of June. We bat .247, which has been well under our season batting average. We've been up around .270 most of the season. So we bat .247 in the month of June. 19 home runs, 79 runs batted in, just 6 stolen bases, a 3.20 ERA, 45 walks, 262 strikeouts. And now we will get into the third and final game of this 3-game series. We're trying to avoid a embarrassing 3-game sweep at the hands of the last place team in Major League Baseball's worst division, the Chicago White Sox. And we will send Eduardo Nunez, Grossman, Bonifacio, Sano, Vargas, Polanco, Peterson, John Ryan Murphy, and Byron Buxton out there today to try to get the job done against the White Sox. And if they are going to beat the White Sox in this game, it is going to be Alex Wood that will lead the way on the defensive side. He will be on the mound, a 3.09 ERA. And the Twins will have to beat Jose Quintana if they are to avoid being swept in this series. So facing Quintana and Sale back-to-back feels like you've got to win that first game of the series when those two aren't pitching, but we did not. And now we face a sweep here. Bottom of the first inning with a runner on third and 1 out. Alex Wood delivering to Abreu. Sano at third thinks about coming to the plate, changes his mind, goes to first, and gets the not really speedy Jose Abreu. And the White Sox take a 1-0 lead. Todd Frazier comes to the plate now. He's batting .313 on the year with 18 home runs. And he will face Alex Wood here in the bottom of the first. And Alex Wood's delivery, this one is grounded up the middle. Jace Peterson backhands onto first. A nice pick by Kenys Vargas. And Alex Wood doesn't allow any more damage in the first inning. It's 1-0 White Sox as we go to the second. And this is John Ryan Murphy with the bases loaded and just 1 out. And John Ryan Murphy lifts this one to center field. Austin Jackson is going to go back medium depth. He'll make the catch. Kenys Vargas is tagging from third, and he is not fast, but that was deep enough for him to come across and score. And John Ryan Murphy ties up the game with the sac fly RBI in the second inning. We're all tied up at 1. Austin Jackson, .247 batter, 4 home runs on the year. Runner on third with 2 outs. Alex Wood trying to get out of the inning without giving up a run. Eduardo Nunez tries to help him out with a dive there. And luckily, he was able to knock it down, and that holds Austin Jackson to a double. If that would have got past Nunez, Jackson could have been running for days and maybe come across to score on an inside-the-park home run. We go to the 5th inning now, still 2-1. White Sox leading. Byron Buxton at the plate with 1 out. Runner on first, a 3-1 count from the left-handed Quintana. The delivery, grounded to the right side. They're going to try for 2. Buxton's a hard guy to double up, and they get the job done. Buxton out at first. And in the middle of 5, it's Twins 1 run on 4 hits. The White Sox 2 runs on 4 hits. Alcides Escobar comes to the plate now for Chicago. Bottom of the 5th inning with 1 out. Nobody on. Here's the delivery from Wood. And this one is driven deep to right field. Eduardo Nunez going back, looking over his left shoulder, and then his right shoulder makes the catch at the wall. Kind of an awkward jump, but he comes down with the baseball and keeps the score at 2-1. 7th inning now. Miguel Sano, 0 for 2, third plate appearance of the day. He's batting .265 on the year with 12 home runs. Quintana still pitching, and Sano drives this one deep to left field. That one is going back of the track. Melky Cabrera feeling for the wall, and he is going to just barely have enough room to haul that one in. And the White Sox have tacked on another run. They lead 3-1 here in the 7th. And you see the teams with the fewest home runs entering play today. The 4 teams with the fewest home runs are all in the American League Central Division. And the only team that isn't there from the Central was the Kansas City Royals. Arodys Vizcaíno comes in now for the Twins, making his 33rd appearance. He's 0-3 on the year. He'll face Todd Frazier. Frazier's a .310 batter. He's got runners on the corners with 1 out. It's 3-1. Frazier's going to line this one into right field. It's cut off by Nunez. The run's going to score, and that'll make the score 4-1 for the White Sox. And Chicago is just a few outs away now, 3 outs away from sweeping us here on the road at Guaranteed Rate Field in Chicago. The end of the 8th inning, it's 4-1. White Sox leading. We go to the 9th inning, last chance for Minnesota. David Robertson in, looking for save number 17. He's got a 3.28 ERA. 156 batting average against lefties, and it was like 250-something against righties. And here is Eduardo Nunez, and Nunez swings and misses at the cutter, moving away from him, off the plate, and that is the first out of the 9th inning. So the Twins down to their final out with Miguel Sano at the plate, batting .264. A runner on first, a 1-2 count. And here is the delivery from Robertson, and Miguel Sano swings and misses at that cutter again. And the White Sox bring out the brooms. The last place team in the worst division in baseball just swept us. And we are now 44-39, and I think we've lost like 6 out of our last 7 games. Yet we are still 7 games ahead of the Tigers and the Indians in the American League Central standings, 8 games ahead of the Royals, and 9.5 ahead of these White Sox, who made up 3 games on us in that series. So look at the standings. The Yankees, 4 games ahead of the Red Sox, who would hold down that second wild card spot. 4 games ahead of the Blue Jays and the Rays as well. All 3 of those teams tied. Over in the West, the Rangers, 3.5 games over the Angels, who would be a wild card team. The A's, 8 games back. The Astros, 10.5. The Mariners are 34-50, 16.5 games below 500. So we continue to hold the biggest division lead in baseball. A 7-game lead between us and the second place team is the biggest in any division. Yet we're only 44-39. In the National League, the Phillies and the Nationals are tied. The Mets 5 games behind them. Pirates 2.5 games over the Cubs, who have leapfrogged the Cardinals. The Cardinals are 3 games back. The Cubs 2.5. The Cubs and the Nationals would be your 2 wildcard teams. So the 2-time defending champion Chicago Cubs have crept back into the playoff race, and they would hold down one of those wildcard spots. Over in the West, the Dodgers, 3.5 games ahead of the Rockies and the Giants. The D-backs and the Padres are only 6.5 back, so that is a very tight division. All of these divisions pretty tight, except for the American League Central, and we have the biggest lead in that one by 7 games. So up next, we will be back home at Target Field against the Colorado Rockies here on Mama's Basement. That'll be games 84 through 86, and then we'll have one more series, so one more episode, which will be a home one against these same Chicago White Sox, and then we will be at the All-Star break in the month of July. So that is Minnesota Twins Franchise, episode 133 here on Mama's Basement.